The pen trembled in Maria's hand as she scribbled those 4 letters onto the napkin, her vision blurred by tears she couldn't afford to shed during her shift. HELP. Such a small word to contain the weight of everything crashing down around her, the eviction notice folded in her apron pocket, her daughter's medication she couldn't pay for, the electricity bill that would plunge their apartment into darkness by tomorrow. She folded the napkin quickly, tucking it beneath the ketchup bottle on table 15 where the man in the expensive suit sat absorbed in his laptop, and hurried away before anyone could see her breaking. Maria Santos had been a warrior long before she became a single mother. At 32, she'd survived an abusive marriage, a messy divorce, and the judgment of a society that still whispered about women who couldn't keep their families together. She'd worked 2 jobs since her ex-husband disappeared 18 months ago, leaving nothing but debt and broken promises. The diner job paid the rent, usually. The overnight stocking position at the grocery store covered everything else, barely. But her 7-year-old daughter, Sophie, needed her mother more than she needed sleep, so Maria pushed through the exhaustion that had become her constant companion. Today had started like any other impossible day. Sophie's asthma had flared up during the night, requiring her emergency inhaler, the last one they had. The pharmacy wanted $250 for a refill. Maria had $63 in her checking account. The landlord had already given her 2 extensions on rent. The eviction notice made it clear there would be no third chance. And this morning, her car had started making a grinding noise that sounded expensive, the kind of expensive that meant choosing between transportation to work or feeding her daughter. She'd written that napkin in a moment of complete desperation, not even sure what she was asking for or who she thought might help. It was a prayer, really, released into the universe with no expectation of an answer. The man at table 15 had been there for 2 hours, nursing the same cup of coffee, typing intensely on his computer. Daniel Chen didn't look like the billionaire he was. At 45, he wore simple clothes and drove a modest car, habits from his childhood when his immigrant parents had worked in restaurants just like this one. He'd built his tech empire from nothing, but wealth had never changed his memory of what struggle felt like. The nights his mother came home with blistered feet, the way his father's shoulders slumped under the weight of bills they couldn't pay. He was in town on business, having chosen this small diner specifically because it reminded him of home, of authenticity, of the real America that existed far from boardrooms and stock prices. He'd noticed the waitress immediately, not because she was beautiful, though she was, but because of the exhaustion in her eyes, the forced brightness of her smile, the way her hands shook slightly when she poured his coffee. He recognized that shake. His mother's hands had trembled exactly that way. When he reached for the ketchup, he found the napkin. 4 letters, written in desperate handwriting, the ink smudged as if by tears. Daniel's heart contracted. He looked up, searching for the waitress, and found her at the counter, head bowed, shoulders rigid with the effort of holding herself together. 20 years of business success had taught him to make quick decisions, but this required no deliberation at all. He signaled for her. Maria's stomach dropped when she saw him gesturing. She'd forgotten about the napkin, lost in the mechanical routine of her shift. Now terror flooded through her. What if he complained? What if she lost this job too? She approached his table, defensive words already forming. "I'm sorry, I don't know what," she started. "Sit down," Daniel said quietly, his tone gentle but firm. "Please. I can't, I'm working. I just bought this diner," he lied smoothly. "You can sit for 5 minutes. Sit." Maria sank into the opposite seat, confused, frightened, too exhausted to argue. Daniel placed the napkin between them. "Tell me what you need help with," he said simply. The story came tumbling out. Months of accumulated crisis, the medical bills, the eviction, her daughter, the impossible mathematics of poverty where every solution created 2 new problems. She talked and cried and apologized for crying, and Daniel listened with the complete attention that powerful people rarely give to anyone, let alone struggling waitresses in small-town diners. When she finished, Daniel pulled out his phone. Maria watched, bewildered, as he made 3 calls. The first was to his assistant. "I need you to contact the property management company at." He looked at Maria, who whispered her address. "Tell them the tenant's rent is paid in full for the next year. And arrange a meeting. I'm interested in purchasing the building." The second call was to his personal physician. "I need a prescription authorization for." He looked at Maria again. She told him Sophie's medication. Cost is irrelevant. I want it delivered today, along with a year's supply. The third call was to his foundation. I need immediate emergency assistance funds deployed. He quoted an amount that made Maria gasp. I can't accept this, Maria whispered, even as hope bloomed painfully in her chest. I don't even know you. Why would you? Because someone helped my parents once, Daniel interrupted, his voice thick with memory. One person's kindness when we were about to lose everything. My father never forgot it. He built his whole life around paying that forward, and he taught me to do the same. I've been successful beyond anything my parents could have imagined, but I never forget where I came from. I never forget what it feels like to write, help, on a napkin because you've run out of options. He leaned forward, his eyes sincere. You're not taking from me, Maria. You're allowing me to be the person my father raised me to be. There's a difference. 3 months later, Maria stood in the doorway of her apartment, the apartment she now owned, thanks to Daniel's foundation purchasing the building and selling individual units to tenants at cost. Sophie was breathing easily, her inhaler sitting on the counter alongside 6 months' worth of refills. Maria had quit the overnight stocking job and enrolled in nursing school, funded by a scholarship Daniel's company had created for single parents. But the greatest gift wasn't financial. It was the transformation in how Maria saw herself and her place in the world. She volunteered at the community center now, helping other struggling parents navigate the systems she'd once found so overwhelming. She'd started a support group for single mothers. She wrote encouragement notes and left them in random places, libraries, laundromats, grocery stores, hoping they'd find someone who needed them the way her napkin had found Daniel. The story could have ended there, wrapped in a neat bow of gratitude and resolution. But life rarely offers such clean endings. Instead, it offers something better, continuation. Maria and Daniel became friends, connected by their shared understanding of struggle and survival. He became a presence in Sophie's life, the kind of steadying adult influence every child deserves. And when Maria graduated from nursing school 2 years later, Daniel was in the audience, applauding as loudly as anyone. You didn't save me, Maria told him at her graduation party. You reminded me I was worth saving. There's a difference. Daniel smiled, remembering his own father's words, the inheritance that mattered more than money. Kindness isn't charity. It's recognition. It's seeing yourself in someone else's struggle and responding with the help you once needed or the help you wish you'd had. It's the thread that weaves us all together. That napkin, framed now, hung in Maria's home office, not as a reminder of her lowest moment, but as a testament to the moment one person's compassion changed everything. And below it, she'd written her own message, one she tried to live by every day: be the help you once needed. Be the person who notices. Be table 15 for someone else. Because the truth is, we're all one crisis away from writing help on a napkin. And we're all one act of kindness away from being someone's answered prayer. The question isn't whether we can afford to help. It's whether we can afford not to.